what's going on this morning? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I just decided I'd come on camera a little early this morning. Thank you so much for coming back. Juan got a little beside himself yesterday, but that's okay. He just got a little emotional. Don't worry, I'll keep him in check today for you, okay? Good morning to everyone who's listening to us, wherever you may be around the world. Let's see who's listening right quick before we get started. Everybody in Kansas, Toronto, Atlanta, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, Chicago's with us. And somebody's over in Minneapolis. What's happening down in H-Town, Houston, Texas? And it's still early over in L.A. And yet they're with us already. Maybe they're on their way home from work. Maybe just arriving at work on this Saturday morning. But they're rolling with us. I'm loving it. What's up, Del Mar? Mr. Retiree. You need to call me today, Del Mar. We got some stuff we got to talk about, okay? Sean Keaton, good morning. Welcome, everybody. I haven't officially started the show. Just figured I'd get up and get things in order. We're going to pick up right where we left off yesterday. Also, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. You can now make payments with Bitcoin. It's not raining outside. In the Motor City right now, it is about, I want to say 50-something degrees or 40 degrees right now. Good morning, Alvin. Beautiful, blue skies, sunny. It's going to be a great day today. I can feel it. Got to say hello to everyone that I met and I saw down at Baker's last night. Dawn and I had a great time. Ray and Jamela. Checking out the Bass Pimp, Ralph Armstrong, along with Gerard Gibbs, Galen McKinney. Fabulous show. If you haven't checked them out and you're in Detroit, every Friday and Saturday, go down to Baker's. An amazing show. Food is great. People are awesome. Jay Firm, what's going on? We're just warming things up a little bit. You know, we're getting older now. And in doing so, you have to get up. I find that as I get older, I tend to go to bed earlier and I wake up earlier. So I'll go to bed at like 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I'll wake up at like 5. And that's okay with me. Because there's so much to do, so little time to do it. And it's good to see everybody rising and grinding with me. The grind never ends. But if you love what you do, it is an amazing, amazing ride. Happy birthday to all of the Scorpios out there. Hey, baby. I'm surprised you up. Jay Firm's been at work since 4:30 in the morning. Only thing I do at 4:30 is roll over. And I'm 60, almost 65 now, so at 4:30 in the morning, I might get up and go to the bathroom. But Jay has always been the kind. He'll get up and go get it. You know, got to go get it. And see, Sean is up. She's like me. In bed by 9:30, up at 5 every morning. And I feel so much better because I know there's something I have to do. And I got to go do it. And we're going to be starting the show really soon in about 6 minutes. I want to remind you guys to be sure and get your tickets for Jokes and Jazz at One Mic. Alexander Zonjek will be on the flute with his band. And they've got great comedians lined up. Tickets are available right now. Go online, go down to the One Mic and pick up your tickets. If you want to know what's happening in and around the city of Detroit, just tune in. We always know what's going on here. And please don't call me and say, Don, what's happening this Saturday? I'm like, listen to the damn station. We run our commercials just before the top of every single hour. So if you miss something, listen in 55 minutes, you'll hear it again. That's how we do things. That way everybody knows exactly what's going on. Like I was saying, Jokes and Jazz with Alexander Zonjic at One Mic. That'll be next Thursday. Also happening next Thursday is Hot Jazz at the Common Pub. Here come the commercials. Check them out. We'll be right back. Get ready for the official kickoff of Alexander Zonjic's Jokes and Jazz series, Thursday, November 14th at One Mic, 1331 Broadway in downtown Detroit, with Alexander Zonjic featuring James Lloyd of Pieces of a Dream and comedian Johnny D. Doors open at 7 p.m., showtime at 8 p.m. It's the official kickoff of Alexander Zonjic's Jokes and Jazz series. Get your tickets now at onemicdetroit.com/events. It's going to be a hilarious night with a jazzy edge. Don't you dare miss it. The weather is cooling down, but we want to keep it hot. Welcome to Hot Jazzy Thursday nights at the Common Pub, starting Thursday, November 14th at 7 p.m. The Common Pub, located at 5440 Cass Avenue, right across the street from Wayne State University. There's no cover with food and drink specials. Hot Jazzy Thursday nights at the Common Pub, starting November 14th, featuring the smooth sounds of Detroit jazz guitarist Eric Watson. Hot Jazzy Thursday nights. It's the perfect way to wind down from a busy day. Join us at the Common Pub, 5440 Cass Avenue. You'll be glad you did. When it's time to get your kids to childcare, you're going to need a place that goes beyond a commitment to safety, one that focuses on a warm, inclusive atmosphere, one that celebrates each child's unique qualities, where your child is safe, feels comfortable, and can express themselves, make friends, and of course, have fun. At Treasure Gems Child Care Center, we provide full-time, part-time, and coming soon overnight care for children whose parents work non-traditional hours. We meet children's basic needs, and we offer a variety of enrichment activities like music, art, and physical education. Stop by and see. We're at 17725 Inkster Road in Livonia, Michigan, or call 734-521-4648, or go to our website, wndr.school/treasuregems. We're open Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. Book a tour with us. Your children are priceless, so give them a head start that they need at Treasure Gems. When it's that time of year for weddings, family reunions, proms, showcase events, and more, it's time to call the Channel One Event Venue. The Channel One Event Venue, with its sophisticated, posh, and upscale decor, has interior space to accommodate up to 80 guests with a food and bar area. Or step outside beneath the huge 30 by 60 foot tent where they can accommodate up to 200 guests. The Channel One Event Venue has all the tables and chairs to keep your guests comfortable in a contemporary atmosphere. The Channel One Event Venue at 444 Meldrum, just off Jefferson Avenue. Call 313-670-7646 or visit our website, channel1eventvenue.com. The Channel One Event Venue is ready to help you celebrate. Call 313-670-7646 and lock in your date today. The Firm Lawn Care and Snow Removal Service takes care of the outside of your home so you can rest easy on the inside of your home. 313-799-3476. At any season, the firm is on your side with expert lawn care, bush and tree service, debris and snow removal, with handyman services available upon request. The Firm Lawn Care and Snow Removal Service. Call 313-799-FIRM. That's 313-799-3476. Let the firm take care of the outside of your home so you can rest easy on the inside of your home. When it's time to get your kids to childcare, you're going to need a place that goes beyond a commitment to safety, one that focuses on a warm, inclusive atmosphere, one that celebrates each child's unique qualities, where your child is safe, feels comfortable, and can express themselves, make friends, and of course, have fun. At Treasure Gems Child Care Center, we provide full-time, part-time, and coming soon overnight care for children whose parents work non-traditional hours. We meet children's basic needs, and we offer a variety of enrichment activities like music, art, and physical education. Stop by and see. We're at 17725 Inkster Road in Livonia, Michigan, or call 734-521-4648, or go to our website, wndr.school/treasuregems. We're open Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. Book a tour with us. Your children are priceless, so give them a head start that they need at Treasure Gems.
You've heard Now Listen, WJZD Radio, Detroit.com.
Are you guys ready to do this? Good morning, Faye. How you doing? Welcome to a brand new day. Dave Langford. I haven't seen Dave since I was like something teen. Real talk. I mean, we go way back to over there on St. Mary's Murray Hill days, hanging out at the park. Good morning to you and yours from the people, the family, right here at WJZD Radio. We are your new number one 24-hour station that streams jazz and so much more. We are WJZD Radio Detroit.com. This is the Rise and Grind Morning, and I'm your guy, Don Allen. That's what I think about you. You are sensational.
What didn't I do for you, girl?
I'm digging this song. I don't know about nobody else, but I'm digging this. This is Chris Brown, Sensational. Also on the way this hour. Oh, incidentally, I didn't tell you guys, I'm going to be with you for like 2 hours today. Coming up this hour, music from Carla Pace, John Smith and Daja, William Green, Rick Braun, WizKid featuring Justin Bieber, Carl Reed, Kim Waters, Azimuth, Jeff Lorber, Jean-Luc Ponte, Mike Murray. We're going to close this hour out with Raul Souza, Sweet Lucy. Just what you need to get your day started. Good morning, Sandy. You guys are sensational. Time to get your grind on this morning. If you're on your way to work, like my man Jay Firm, he's already there. Putting his earbuds in, he's going to vibe with us while he's on his job. I'm loving that. I want everybody, since we're just getting started, share. Hit the share button. Everybody hit the share button. Share it with everybody you know. This is the Rise and Grind on WJZD Radio. Shout out to all of my friends out at DTW. Shout out to all the students I met over at the Detroit School of the Arts. There are some amazing kids over there. These kids are so talented. I mean, we were walking down the hall. We were getting a tour yesterday, and we met some of the students that were in the hall, and we asked them what they were studying, and one young lady said she sang. So Miss Green took us in an auditorium, which was right there, and we put her on stage, and she just went to town. These kids are amazing. Yeah, so we're going to support the kids. We're going to be doing a lot with those people over at the Detroit School of the Arts. Gaston, good morning. Welcome to the Rise and Grind. Waiting on my partner in crime, Juan Johnson. He'll be here shortly. In the meantime, you know, let's see. We were discussing why we as a community can't stick together yesterday, as I recall. We were also talking about the respect factor from women to men. We started out there and it kind of morphed into people as a whole. So we're going to continue where we were yesterday. Luckily, I took notes. And we started off with, can you read aloud? You like this one, Sean? I know Dawn likes this one. Can you read aloud? How well do you read aloud? Do you read with expression? I mean, are you just saying words? Or are you comprehending the words that are coming out of your mouth? That's vital. And that's why, part of the reason why I want to work with the kids over at the DSA. Because I want to make sure that all of our children, all of our nieces, all of our nephews, everyone we all know have the opportunity but it goes by unnoticed sometimes, more times than most. So we want to make sure they're comprehending what they're reading. If they comprehend more, they learn more. And, oh, you do? Sean reads well, she says. So I'm going to put it to the test one of these days soon. I'm going to bring cash. I am going to bring a newspaper, some copy from something I picked up, and I will give cash to anybody who can read whatever I give them flawlessly. That might be a good promotion to promote, reading literacy. What do you think? We're going to have to work on that. That sounds like a decent idea. This is Carla Pace. It's all right. It's gonna be all right if we jazz it up all night. Yes, yes, yes. Also, I have a question. Like I mentioned earlier, did you know we can now pay your bills and pay for things with Bitcoin? So does that mean there's actually going to be a coin, a physical coin that we can carry around, just what we need to jangle in our pockets? I don't know about you, but I hate carrying coins in my pocket. But if it's worth something, hey, it's money. But I heard this on the news. You will now be able to pay for things with Bitcoin. And I have seen the vending machines that will give you Bitcoin. I don't know if it's on a card or what exactly, but they say you can pay for stuff with it now. And I also want to talk about investments. We're at the age, ladies and gentlemen, where we cannot rely on our retirement and our Social Security because it may not be there much longer. But the investments that you make that roll over and eventually turn into something great later in life, we need to get in on this game. So does anybody know anything about investments and stock? We're going to talk about that. So when it comes time to retire, we don't have to worry about, will I outlive my money? And that does happen. These are things that we need to think about as adults. Yeah, I know a lot of y'all, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do tonight. The hell with tonight. Let's think about our future and beyond. We know tomorrow isn't guaranteed. However, let's pray for the best and say that you're going to be here well into the future. And that being said, we need to start thinking about investing. And so, which begs the question, are you ready to retire? Are you? Is your financial future secure? I'm starting to sound like a commercial, I know. But these are important things. We could talk about relationships and all of that stuff. We're going to get to that stuff, but you need to start thinking about this right now. Dawn and I we're just researching some investment opportunities, stocks, UILs and whatnot, Bitcoin. And we had a client who wanted to come on the air and discuss this. I believe Kyle spoke to an organization that did that, and they disappeared on me. Maybe the market crashed on them. This is the Rise and Grind Morning. And I'm waiting on Juan to get with me so we can jump into the hot topic. I know you guys are waiting on that. Good morning to you in Atlanta. Thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate you. And we want you to share our station with everybody that you come into contact with. Is that cool? Is that all right with you? Somebody's down in Florida checking us out. Good morning, Arizona. I see you. Thank you for joining us. Let's see where in Florida you're listening at. Fortunately, I can. Let's see, who is that? They're down near Tampa. Somebody near Tampa is checking us out this morning. Good morning, it's in Wesley Chapel, Florida, and they're checking us out. Good morning. Oh, you're right in Wesley Chapel, too. Okay, let me zoom back out real quick. I know they're over in Houston checking us out. Who is that over in Arizona? Let's zoom in. They're in Phoenix. Good morning, Phoenix, whoever that is out there. Thank you so much for joining us. And who's in Kansas City is checking us out. Let's see, where in Kansas are you? Shaney, Kansas. You're near Shaney. Wait a minute. There's a lake right over there, and it looks like you're in the middle of the water. Okay, so I'm assuming you're on a boat. I hope you are. This is my man John Smith, Daja. It's called Lost Chronicles. I love this song. Good morning to you, wherever you are on this little blue marble we call Earth. This is the Rise and Grind Morning Show. I'm your guy, Don Allen. Cheryl, what's happening? You're thinking about retiring? So now, Cheryl, in thinking about retiring, are you prepared? Do you have some good sound investments? Do you have good stock investments? I mean, see, I have a ton of questions when it regards to the stock market. I realize that if you only invest $1, it's going to take you a bazillion years for it to turn into something. Same thing with almost like 500, but you can start off with like $500 or maybe $1,000 and have a substantial based on which stock you invest in, the return on it, and have something you can float and ride right into your retirement and go on vacations and so forth. It's time we start thinking about this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I am not kidding. These are the thoughts that you have in the back of your mind. Well, I got time. No, you don't have time. Do it today. At least start doing the research today. And then save $1,000, you know. Let's face it, you blow $1,000 in a week's time. Some of y'all in a day, some of y'all even in an hour. You blow $1,000, why not put that $1,000 to work for you? That's going to result in you having a better life when you no longer have to work. Also, when you retire, what are you going to do? I know, and don't hand me that crap about it. I'm going to lay in bed. No, you're not. Let me tell you something. I know many people who have retired and they didn't have a plan. They just woke up the next morning, didn't have to go to work, so they figured they'd lay around the house, watch TV, you know. And the body is a peculiar thing. It's very wise. If you stop using the muscles that you're using every day and you lay around the house, your legs are going to say to you, oh, you don't need us anymore. So your legs will stop working. Same thing with your heart, your lungs, your brain. Every day, we need you to get up and do something. Move around. Do you realize since the day you were conceived in your mommy's womb, your body has been moving? Even inside the womb, you were always moving around. Just, ask your mama. It's like, yeah, you was kicking and rolling over and all. You just wouldn't sit still. And the same holds true from the day you take your first breath. Your body is moving constantly. Now, you multiply from that first breath to today and realize that your body has been moving around all these many years. The second you stop moving around, the body figures, oh, well, it's time for us to shut down. That's why it's imperative. Hen, good morning. That's why it's imperative that we continue to be active even after retirement. Learn something new. Learn a new craft. Learn how to play golf. Go for walks. Go travel the world if you're able. Nothing warms my heart more. I work at the airport. Nothing warms my heart more than to see seniors actively going overseas. Only problem I have with going overseas, I'm going to be honest with you, is that an 8-9 hour flight where you can't do nothing on that damn plane but get up and walk that way and turn around and walk right back. This is William Green, Smoking Keys. As we take care of you on the Rise and Grind morning, waiting on Juan to get here. Matter of fact, let me text Juan right now and tell him, tell Juan to get his butt over here. Let's see. I'm on the air. I'm on the air. are you? Okay, I just texted Juan. He should be back with us in just a few. This is how we get things started on a Saturday morning. This is the weekend edition of the Rise and Grind. We are going to still on 2 hours this morning as soon as my partner in crime gets his butt here, you know. Good morning, Barb Frazier. How are you? See, Barb can explain to us about being retired because Barbara just retired recently. And there, see, you text a brother and he finally brings his behind to work. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there's no longer a Rise and Grind. It is Don Juan in the morning. Where the hell you been?
I was actually watching the movie this morning.
It's just no time to be watching television, man.
Well, I was getting the baby ready for school because she got school this morning too.
It's Saturday.
Yeah, no, she goes to school.
Oh, that's cool. Isn't it? There's the schools in China. The kids go to school every single day. There's no summer vacation. You know, do you think that would be a good idea here in America?
Yeah.
I think it would be fabulous. You know, I mean, let's face it. Wait a minute. Cheryl says she's going to use the gift of art. Black art is valuable. My paintings can keep selling even when I'm gone. There you go. See, Cheryl's an amazing artiste. You know, she paints. Lucretia's saying, what's going on, darling? Lucretia will be MCing for Thad and the Motherfunkers. And I said the Motherfunkers.
Motherfunkers.
Yeah, and they're going to be down at the Aretha Jazz Cafe. I'm going to stick my head in there briefly for a minute or two, so I'm looking forward to that. Lucretia, I want to see somebody else on stage MCing for a change. So we want Lucretia to get up there and do her thing. I'm going to support you, you know. And that's going to be an awesome show because Thad is a beast on those drums.
Yes, he is.
And
Not a doubt.
do you realize me and Thad have been friends forever since we were something teen. We went to Henry Ford High School together. And the idea, the concept for WJZD radio actually came about in Thad's basement. He was cutting my hair. Wait a minute. G. Hen said Juan Johnson's security badge wasn't working. He had to stop by HR first. Janae says this is such a touchy topic. My generation won't see a pension, and it's set up for us to work forever. You got to work 2 jobs with a side hustle to figure out how to prepare for the future. We have it really hard, and our elders are far removed from the reality. We're just not trying to work ourselves into bad health and unable to enjoy those retirement years. Pray, Janae, you're absolutely right. I worry.
What's the topic?
We were talking about retirement and investing in so you don't outlive your money into retirement. And that's where I started, you know. So
what I would say is take your money out of Social Security right now.
Yeah, because you won't have none. Because you see, with the new administration coming in, they're not taxing overtime. They're not taxing wages.
Well, that's what
he's saying.
What they want is that's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't say that's what's going to happen.
But if they do that, those taxes have to come from somewhere. And I'm willing to bet it's going to come out of your Social Security, out of your retirement money. So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Take your money, invest it in something that's non-taxable. Find out the things that are not, and you don't know how to do it. You're sitting in front of a machine that can do it for you. It can show you and direct you put you in the right direction so that you'll know what to do with your damn money. You know, because if you think my money's in the bank, it's fine. No, you're getting less than 1% interest on your money. The bank is taking your money and investing it so they can make money. And using your money and giving you nothing for
money against the money that you have in the bank.
Right. You know,
so they can get more money. They got a loan.
Yeah.
From another bank.
And that's the truth. You know, so we have to start thinking in terms of, you know, what are we going to do in our retirement? You say you want to go to Paris, you want to go to Italy, you want to go retire on a sandy white beach somewhere with crystal blue waters, and you ain't got bus fare to get out of Detroit. You know, so I mean, we have to start thinking about these things. And like Janae said, she's worried by the time it's time for her to retire, there won't be a pension.
Look,
they won't see
I'm
one.
telling you, take your money out of Social Security and invest it somewhere else, real quick. Just take the bulk money out of it, and
There's a
piece
penalty
it
for
up.
that.
So take that penalty.
There's a major penalty for that.
Take that penalty. Take that
You know.
penalty because if you're worried about whether it's going to be there or not,
It
would you
won't.
rather take the penalty or not have anything?
Very true.
That-
Gary Hunter, my cousin Gary is watching this morning. I was scrolling through Facebook and saw my cousin playing the piano, and I forgot he knew how to play the piano, and he's actually quite good.
You
The
say he's
shot
actually
news,
quite
he's
good.
actually quite good. But we have to start thinking about investing our money. Sean Keaton says, I'm 57, plan to retire at 70, need to know how and where to invest. Tell you what, Sean, I'm going to do my due diligence, and we will find a legitimate investment firm, have them come on with Kyle Lamont, and I will record that and run it on this show as well, so we can know.
That's subject to what they like, because investment firms have favorites,
Oh, yeah.
and you have to be sure that that's what you want to invest your money in too. But
Well, I mean, you can
myself,
always go to the ones that always have a high yield. Your Amazon, your Microsoft,
Ah,
your
well,
Google,
what
your
I would
Tesla.
do, what I am doing, is I have invested in insurance. So what I did was I took a high yield, very high insurance policy out on myself. But it is I
It
can't
is,
remember what the initials were, but whatever it is, I can take money out
You
against
can borrow
the-
up your own
I can-
policy.
I borrow against my policy, and I don't have to pay it back. So if I have a $700,000 life insurance policy, I can borrow against it, take 500 out of that out, do what I need to do in life, and put the rest of it back in, or put it in, take a good portion of that money and put it into something that's going to yield 6 or 7% return on the money every year. But that's the thing, every year.
Yeah,
And then-
see.
Oh, you have to put so much money in the bank or into whatever investment funds when they yield 6 or 7%. And it doesn't, you have to put so much money. It has to be $1 million or more for you to be able to live off the return.
Well, pretty soon you're going to have to be earning $1 million a year just to consider yourself middle class. But I'm going to do some research, and I'm going to find a reputable firm that will get on the mic with us and show everybody what it takes and what all is involved, because I have a ton of questions, about when it comes time to invest monies for my retirement, and I'm looking at retirement very, 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 very soon.
Yeah, you
know.
up in age.
I'll be 65 on November 30th. Yeah, my birthday's coming up. Okay, I know I'm not giving a party. At least I don't think so. I can't make plans for. Wait a minute. I can't make plans for my birthday because that's Dawn's department. We know what we're doing on her birthday. I have no clue what I'm doing on mine. So Ponce Lemire with Edward Jones. And Lucretia, who is Ponce Lemire with Edward Jones? You
Maybe
type
somebody
it in.
that's
Good morning, Dietrich.
Perform.
Okay. Yeah,
I
but
know that here.
we have to find somebody who can actually see. They can run a class. We can set up a class, and find us a good auditorium somewhere, and have somebody get on the mic and say with a big screen, "Oh, they're investments." And I've seen Edward Jones.
Edward Jones is an investment company. Yes.
Yeah. Now, who's Ponce Lemire? Is that an investment company as well?
But I don't trust companies. I don't trust companies like that.
You gotta, I guess you don't have to trust somebody, but it's been my experience through life when you have to go to somebody who knows something about it. Otherwise, you're taking your money and,
Yeah.
spreading it
You
around.
have to-
Okay, go ahead.
I
She's
just
here.
don't. Oh, I see. Hold on. Good morning, Dawn. How How are you this morning?
How are you this morning? It's an echo.
Has everything been good for you?
Is everything been good?
That's so wonderful. I see you out and about this morning.
That was last night.
That was excellent. I will talk to you later, Dawn. All right, back to our normal program.
And we now return back to our normally scheduled program. Zeller's Basement Media. Thank you. The Zeller's Basement Media's favorite morning show, no doubt.
Is us?
Yeah,
Oh, you set the bar low.
Lucretia said that's her godson. Okay,
Oh, okay.
Nancy Davis, good morning to you. And Jay Firm says he hates it here. I hate it here. Let's give it to Jay. He hates everything. He likes it. Hey, Jay. No,
He's
that's
not.
a commercial.
Yeah, Mike.
Selena Dawkins. Hey, where you been, sweetheart? Down in Columbus, Ohio. The Old Town East Jazz Festival is amazing. Juan, we got to take you down there.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
I mean, these people are so amazing. They're so cool. She says Don Juan. Yeah, I'm Don. He's Juan. And Columbus, Ohio was just so freaking amazing. I mean, it's just fantastic. I love the place. I love the restaurants. They've got a little city center that Dawn and I went and had dinner at when we were down there. And it was all high-end stores, your Gucci's, your Pradas, and all the rest of that. And Juan and Dawn. Well, Jay Firm, no more coffee for you this morning. That was WizKid featuring Justin Bieber, and this is my man. Ladies, if you need your hair done, go check out Carl Reed. He does hair and he can sing while he's doing it. That's something else. This is called So Fine. Jihan says, can we give a huge shout out to all of the DJs who performed at over 750 polling stations across the country on Election Day. Shout out to all of them. I know Jihan was there. Mellow Mike was out there.
Yep.
DJ Alco was out there. I think Waldo was out there. And that means, there were at least 300 DJs going from location to location, setting it up, pumping
About three
up the
locations.
crowd.
They had about 3 locations apiece.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It was amazing. Over 7,000 across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's big.
I mean, and I just wish we had.
I wonder if they're going to do that next year. I mean,
I think they do it
4
every year
years.
now.
Let's
This
do it
is not
next
the
year.
first year.
Because next year is the local elections.
I think they need to be out at every major election. Every election period is
Mm-hmm.
major. So,
I'm with it.
Yeah, I would love to take part in that. I got my equipment. Jihan knows I got the equipment. I just don't use it. But I'm old. I don't like carrying equipment anymore.
I think from what we were talking about on yesterday
Oh yeah.
about starting businesses and getting out there and all that other stuff.
Oh yeah, and I'm down with this. Let's get started.
There was a comment yesterday that said that we need to learn, the business and
We do.
and all that. No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
How,
I'm gonna give you an example. Go ahead and
okay,
say
give me
something.
an example.
Say something.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Give me an
Okay.
example.
So let's use Selena for example, or we can use Jay Firm. Jay has a business, but Jay likes what Don does. So he wants to open a radio station, and he can get all the equipment, and he can get all the music, and if he don't know what he's doing, he gonna get on here, and it's gonna flop. You know why? Because he didn't do the research to do what I do. Conversely, Jay owns a lawn care business. I could go out and buy a lawnmower, edging, trimmers, and a truck with a trailer, and you know what? The business will flop. You know why? Because I didn't do the research, involved that it took to be successful at it. That's why you see a lot of restaurants closing. That's why you see a lot of businesses that don't make it into their second or third year. They can't survive the pinch that they don't do the research that to make themselves successful. When you're going into business, you have to set yourself up for success. You can't. I got a big pile of money. I'm gonna open a clothing store. You know, what kind of clothes you're going to sell? I'm going to sell men's clothes. Well, you know, if you do your research, the turnaround on that is at least 3 to 4 years before you start seeing profit. If you're lucky, you're going to break even maybe by the second or third year. It's going to take another 3 years before you start seeing substantial profit. Now, you might be selling clothes every day, but you got to pay the lease on the building. You got to pay your employees. You got to pay for the electricity. You got to pay for the clothes. You got to pay for your tables. You got to pay for your displays. You got to pay for everything. You got to pay for your insurance. You know, plus you have home duties that some of that money's got to go towards the home as well, because you got to keep lights on at your house as well. You know, so there are a lot of things. And Jay Firm says, if people don't support is the biggest issue. And I agree. I agree with you, Jay. We as a community, being the black people, we need to start supporting our own. We said this the other day, yesterday. I mean, we quick to run to go get some Chinese food right over there in the hood, buy some Chinese people, you know, who make I'm not downing them, but they've found their niche in our community and selling the great food that they sell. And you can drive up. Wait a minute, let me explain something to you. If you drive up Woodward, I believe there are two soul food restaurants. Two. One of them has really piss poor service, and they serve breakfast, and it's really, really good, but it takes a day and a half to get there. The waitress walk up to you, hi, what you want? You know, with that attitude, you know, and I don't know, God only knows what, I know what's keeping them open, but I'm not going to go there. I have to give you the name of the restaurant, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to give them any advertising. The other one, the food sucks. You know, so, I mean, why can't we open businesses in our own communities? And you can't blame nobody but ourselves. Because, I mean, I'm tired of hearing, well, the white man won't let us do this. No, don't blame him. Blame yourself. There's a billion other businesses out there that did their due diligence. They did their research. They found a location. They did the mathematics to see what it would take to become successful. We have to sell this amount of this product so we can make this amount of money. Okay? And my hands are, you sell this much to make this kind of profit. You know, and is it going to be that way all the time? Absolutely not. You know, businesses go like this, up and down. You know, that's why you and I, Juan and I, all you guys with businesses out there, you want to advertise, come on call me up. Call Juan up. We will put together a commercial, and we will price it in a price point where it's actually affordable for you. I mean, it costs us money to run it and to write it and produce it and edit it and all the rest of that. You know, so yeah, we got to make a little something, but we make it easy for you to, I mean, look at Jay Firm. Jay Firm has been advertising for what, 2-3 years now, Jay? At least 2 years, or at least a year, he's going into his second year here at WJZD advertising with us, you know, and see, does radio guarantee a client base? Absolutely not. But one thing I've learned about black people, you have to tell them something 50 million times for them to remember it once, okay? However, if I said Luther Vandross is coming to town tomorrow, they'll hear that and they'll be like, oh, I got to go around and get tickets. See, if it's something they like, if it's something that sparks their interest, you know, they'll go and they'll remember it. But they know their damn lawn need to be cut. And it was like, I'm looking for somebody to cut my grass. And if you listen to WJZD Radio, we've been telling you every hour, call Jay Firm, call Jay Firm, call Jay Firm. That commercial was coming up this hour at 9:59, okay? And yet people, I need somebody to come do my lawn. You know, I need my home cleaned. I don't know anybody. I run a commercial, Adrian's Divine Heart and Hands. We had my nieces and nephews, they're young kids. I need a place to take them. We have Treasured Gems. You know, see, so if you pay attention, that's why pushing a commercial once an hour, every day, 24 hours a day is vital to our community finding out where these goods and services are. Okay, now you may rebut, sir. Wait a minute. Janae says even drug dealers have to educate themselves in business. Thank you, Jay.
No, they don't.
And thank you, Janae. Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
The drug business is a supply and demand. They go on whether or not it's a demand for the supply that they have.
And their
If
freedom
it
won't
doesn't,
be.
if
Their
there's
freedom
no
is challenged when they
demand
do
for their
that.
if there's no demand for their product, they switch to something different. There's no research in that. There's no research in that.
No.
Trust me, I know that.
Okay, find a drug dealer who's selling their bad drugs on the corner of Woodward and whatever.
Bad
You
drugs
know,
is different than just selling. So when we sold crack back in the day,
when we sold, speak for yourself.
I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the community. When the community, our black community, sold crack in the back in the day, it was the drug of choice, right?
Yeah,
And
okay.
the demand for crack back then was high. It is not the same right now. Now it might be the same. It might be a slight demand because some people that were on crack back in the day are still on crack now. There's a demand for it. There's a slight demand for it. Now people are into weed.
Are they? Oh yeah, they are.
So there's a demand for it. The demand got so great that they had to legalize it and let people sell it legally.
Okay,
That's
now,
how great the demand was.
wait a minute.
There is no real research in the drug business. Now, let's say this. That doesn't say that they don't take the time to learn how to manage what they're doing.
That's the research part.
But research.
That's research.
Any good businessman can tell you, if I've been in business long enough, this works and that doesn't work.
And that's trial and error right
That's
there.
trial and error is
But
the best research you have.
Initially,
Trial
when they
and error
start
is-
out, they have to, say, well, I need to do this, 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 and this for this to be successful. That's called research.
Trial and error.
Let me read off some of these comments. Jay says, if people don't support, the biggest is the biggest issue. G Hen says, I get that all the time. People want to DJ events until they find out how much the equipment costs and find people really can be. I don't understand that sentence. Jay Firm says, my prices can be the same as the other guy, and you'd pay them before you pay me and want a deal and dare not ask them for a deal.
Because they're white.
Yeah, very true. And Janae says, even drug dealers have to educate themselves in business.
And
They do.
I'm saying they don't.
They do.
A lot of the
I
drug
disagree.
business,
Me and Janae disagree with you.
the drug business is trial and error, big trial and error.
But wait a minute.
I'm
Janae
trying
says you
to-
can roll it up and call it a hot dog, but what you're describing is still knowing how business works.
No.
And thank you, Janae.
The business works like this.
Oh, yeah.
This is how business works. This is how business works. And I'm going to just let y'all know. This is how business works. Find something that you like to do and do it. That's it.
That's passion, and that's
Hold on.
passion and execution.
How come your passion can't be your business? How come your passion can't make you money?
Okay, wait a minute. Alvin's is getting ready to shut it down. Alvin says, interested in knowing from Juan, a very smart man, which business he started that he didn't research and how it did, and how is it working out?
I've been in television for 39 years now.
And okay,
I did
and
not
you
go to school.
You
Hold on,
didn't
hold
research
on, let
it.
me- let
You
me-
didn't research it.
I did not research it, but guess what I did do?
What you did
I
do?
found out that I liked it and did the work. I just went to work in it.
So
maybe
you
no
had to
research.
learn about it before
It
you went to
took me
work in it.
10 years to learn it.
Oh, that's research. That's
not
putting
research.
yourself to school, Juan.
That's us. I guess if you want to say
It's putting
I
yourself
went
to
to school
school.
learning, but I went to work learning the business. But I've loved doing this. Now, to answer his question, I started my business in 1999. It failed the first 4 years. It failed.
Oh,
Right? My first production company failed.
was that when you was
Right.
off Jefferson?
This is not when this is way before that.
Oh, okay.
My first production business failed only because, not that because I didn't do the research and not because I didn't know the business, because I knew the business. It failed because I trusted people to support me.
Oh, you can't do that, baby. Big mistake.
I trusted it. Again, we go back to trial and error. I learned the hard way that you can't trust people to support you. All right.
I agree
So,
there.
I know Harvard graduates. I know people that went to Full Sail to do what I do, started a business and struggling. And you know what they did? They got out. I know Harvard graduates that went to school for business and finance that's working at McDonald's.
Damn, their parents are really proud.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the research ain't what it is. It's not the research. It's the passion. The
Wait a minute.
passion drives it.
Alvin rebuts. He said, "Sounds like a job unless for 10 years you didn't get paid."
For 4 of those years, I didn't get paid.
But so you worked for someone else
I worked for someone
for
else
4 years,
for 4 years
and they
didn't
make no
get
money.
paid. Nope.
So you had another side hustle, another job then.
Nope.
So where was you? Who was you living off of for 4
I
years?
wasn't living off of nobody. I lived in my car for 2 years.
Bro,
I
you
lived in
should've
my
called.
car for 2 of those years.
You should have called. My couch is always open.
No, but this is way before us, Don. This is way before us. And for 2 of those years, I learned, you know what? I gotta have this
No,
passion.
you
I
didn't
gotta
say
have this-
learned it.
No, I say I learned that I have to have passion for this, because if I trusted the way the money goes, I'll be out of it. I know people that started business when I started the business.
Okay, now wait a minute.
Or-
my cousin Gary makes a point here. God blessing still coming even during failure. Just keep working. Don't let the distraction stop you. Now, I have to say
Yes.
that on his behalf, because I remember when Gary started the Shot News. I remember
Mm-hmm.
when he started it, and he rose to national acclaim. I think his biggest hit was when he was a photographer of Barack Obama, and traveled around the world and across the country with him. Wait a minute. Alvin says we call that OJT,
On-the-job training. Right.
training. That's exactly
But
right.
you know what? Let me say something about on-the-job training, right? When you get these jobs, and my dad gave me the best mantra to live your life off of. When you on these jobs, these people don't want to show you anything. You have to learn. You have to go and do it yourself. And you have to read manuals. You have to do all this other stuff. Back in the day, we didn't have all of that. They didn't have manuals online.
Yeah, very true.
They
But
didn't-
you did have someone had to show you something.
No.
I did. I had that
Now
benefit.
you had somebody to show you. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. You know, when
before
I
went to
finally
school
got
for
somebody.
broadcasting, before I went to school for broadcasting, Jim Ryan had already pulled me aside and said, "Okay, Don, go in the studio while I'm on the air. You're going to practice doing this, and this." He
Yeah, I
gave
didn't
me
have that.
tasks to do.
I
you
didn't
know.
have that.
And maybe I positioned myself, because I started off in radio answering the request line at WDRQ when it was on
Bro.
8 Mile and James Cousins. That's how I
I
started.
carried cable for 2 to 3 years before I was ever able to touch a camera.
Janae says, when I was heavily in the acting game, I realized that I had to know business too. I had to turn myself into a business. Acting was my passion, but that wasn't
hold
enough.
on.
I had,
hold on.
Wait, let
She's
me finish
proving my
saying what
point. She's proving my point.
I think I learned the major principles of business in entertainment.
She
Now, how
proved
does
my
that
point.
prove your point?
Because that one word, she said, acting was what?
Her passion.
And what did I say that you have to have to start a good business?
You have to have passion.
And because acting is her passion, she took the time to learn it. Right? She went back and she did. A lot of people start these businesses like when they start these radio stations and things like that. When the first question I get from them is, how do I make money from this? And I tell them, I don't know. How do you make money from it?
But wait a minute. We're missing a point here.
No, I'm not missing
Hey,
the
Jerome
point.
Rutledge, what's happening?
I'm not missing the point. See,
That's
people,
still,
people think-
even while teaching yourself, that is called research. You have to learn something. You have to research. If you try this
but
and
listen-
it doesn't work, you have to figure out why.
You said before you start a business, you need to research it,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
If you have a passion, and let's put it like this: if you're a caterer, and I know this from firsthand service,
Time out. This is Detroit's own Ralph Armstrong on the bass when he was 17 years old, playing with Jean-Luc Ponty. That's the bass pimp right there. I was with
You
him
said the
last
bass
night.
pimp.
That's what we call him. He's the bass pimp.
'Cause he worked for everybody.
And
That pay
yes,
him.
he did.
That
But
pay
you
him.
know, he's been around the world more times than than I can count. But anyway, like I
But
was
back
saying,
to my point.
and Janae said, and I also said that wasn't enough. A lot of people only operate from passion.
See, now look, back to my point. If you're a caterer and your passion is cooking, you're going to cook regardless of if people eat the food or not.
That's because you got to eat.
But the thing is, they're going to cook regardless of people eat the food or not. They might not cook as much the next time, but they're going to cook because they love cooking. And what they're going to do is find a way to monetize what they're doing. I got cupcakes. I like making cupcakes. Here's my cupcakes. She's going to take them to a store. She's going to take them to, but after a while, she's going to say, okay, if I want to make this a business, I got to keep cooking. I got to find people to cook for. And they're going to find people to cook for. It didn't take her no research to do that. It just took her passion. Hold on.
I gotta keep reading what my people are putting on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Janae also says my point is that I didn't research the business of acting before getting wrapped up in my emotions as far as my passion was concerned.
Okay, but while you were did you stop acting because of that?
Maybe she got called to another passion, being the seminary.
But see, the thing is, right? Did you stop acting because of that, or did you just say, "Well, this not working. I'm out. I'm ghost." So Gary says, determination match with faith and endurance gives you success. If you trust God, someone will be anointed for your purpose to guide you, lift you, and show you, knowing or unknowingly. We are all guided and trained by someone. If we take the time to listen, we learn.
Spit that truth, Gary. Spit that truth.
Okay.
That's my family talking.
So, Gary, how long did it take for Shot News after the 5 years to actually be what it is today? That's what I'm going to ask you. Mm-hmm. Did you keep going even when the Shot News wasn't doing nothing? When
Robin.
When it was zero in the bank account from the Shot News, did you still keep going? Did you make the Shot News your career?
May I install something on that?
Wait. I want Gary to answer
this
that.
radio station's been going 8-9 years so far,
Mm-hmm.
and you above all know I didn't make a quarter. I went to work to fund this station, but I did not stop. I kept going, and I'm still in the red and not in the black yet.
What? Because of what?
Because I love what I do.
Passion. Your passion kept you going.
Wait a minute.
Even when the station didn't make any money.
Gary said, first of all, like you said, I had a father. The Shot News was being developed with my father's training out to Belong Road.
And that was going to be my next point. That was going to be my next point.
Trying to do other things, but God kept guiding me back. I have been enjoying and pushing ever since.
So you had a father that kind of basically passed down what he knew to you. A lot of these kids don't have that.
Well, now, Alvin says you're not going to get money from somebody without it a plan. And if
that's false. That's super
if
false.
you have your own money, you are going to have to learn in research, to run it successfully, aka make a profit.
Boy,
Janae
y'all have these ideas of what business is, and it's not necessarily that. We have to get out of this. We have to get out of this mode of what white people have said. This is how business is done, and this is how you're going to be successful, because it does not work in our neighborhoods. Being successful in our neighborhoods doesn't mean starting a business and having the passion and all. You got to, man. I mean, you got to have. You got to do the.
You got to have fortitude.
It's more than just what white people say business is. Because most of the white people that you're following that has a plan, that has, the business plan, and they show me your business plan, your projections for the next 5 years. Some of that, your next 5 years, you don't even know if you're going to be in it the next 2. So My thing is, why do you have projections for 5 years? If you do, let's do 5 years of the business and see if we're even going to stay in it the next 5 years. That's all. My thing is this. A lot of the people that we emulate or that we say are good business people had their businesses passed down to them. They were able to borrow against their business because their business was already successful when they got it. There's a few people in this world that started businesses from garages and that blew up.
Yeah,
Right?
that would be Mr. Zuckerberg.
In the black community, we have yet to see that happen in the black community. You know why we have yet to see that? There's a few people that have started businesses in their kitchens and in it because their passion pushed them to it. Yes, then after they decided, I'm going to do this as a business, what do I need to do? Yeah, okay. We sit back, we do a little research before we get out there. But even
Did I
after
hear
all
you
that
say do
research,
research? Did I hear you say do research?
even after all of that research, and it's not successful, what do you do?
Okay, and now I'm gonna read these two comments, and then we're gonna move on to what it takes or why haven't you started. Janae says, actually, yes, because I had to study what needed to be done. I didn't have proper headshots, and that was a big issue with getting auditions. I had to work to earn money for a proper headshot session, which was really expensive back in the day, and it
Yeah, it
still
was.
is. And I don't even know where the hell to get a headshot. I do need some.
I have a photographer that does headshots.
Oh, really? And
Yep,
Alvin
all day
says,
long.
passion, self-funding, and years of experience made WJZD work with a little inspiration from Rosetta and
Let-
Doc Elliott and
let
Tony
me-
Hoy.
Let me say this. When you go to a bank with a business plan and they decline it, what do you do?
Keep going.
You're going to have to fund it yourself. Now, let me tell you what my dad told me. And I want to put this out there so everybody could have this in the back of their head. So they'll always remember this. Let your job fund your passion. Let your job fund your dream. If your dream is to do what you're doing, to do what you love doing and get paid from it, your job should be funding that. Because you don't want to work for these people all these years. You work for a company 50 years and come home with a certificate and a watch. The hell is that? What? What
Like
the hell
old
is that?
Like the old song from Lou Rawls goes, I don't want to work. I don't want to go to work for 50 years from 9 to 5 while the boss is guzzling champagne and I'm tilting beer in some dive.
Look.
I want to be happy and free. Okay, y'all, I can't sing. We've established
my
that.
thing is this. Their businesses thrive because of you working there. Most people are scared to quit their 9 to 5 because of the simple fact that
They like
there's not
living
enough
indoors.
money in it. There's not enough money in my business for me to quit my 9 to 5. I've seen the girl. What is her name? I forgot, from the Lip Bar. Before all of this stuff with the governor and all this other stuff, she was making, because I know her mom, she was making her stuff in the kitchen. She was making her lip gloss and her lipsticks and stuff in the kitchen. And you know what she did? She made it. She came up with some formulas. She saw some stuff online, made it, and then tried it out and gave it out to people. She didn't do no research. She did not
Giving
do
it
no,
out to people
Yeah,
to see
but
if they
listen,
liked it is called research, Juan.
I'm
That's
sorry,
research.
what?
Giving it, when you make it and you give it away to see if people like it, that's in that arena. That's called research.
Yeah,
that's
but
called you're testing a product.
You're testing the
your
product. But the thing is, she gave it out to her friends and everybody and all of that before.
Wait a minute.
She went
Dawn,
mass.
who shops at the Lip Bar,
Yeah.
says Melissa Butler, the founder of Lip Bar, started out in her kitchen making vegan lipstick.
Yep,
She
yep.
was rejected by Shark Tank.
Okay.
She has a brick and mortar store in downtown. Her products are in many stores.
Her product
but
is all over the world right now.
She started out by testing it on people. She gave it to them. I mean, just like when
But
I
that-
started
but
out, I
you-
gave away commercials.
But
I
listen
can't
to this,
afford to do it
listen to this,
now,
Don.
but that's how I started.
Listen to this. The fact that she started it in her kitchen, could she have went out and sold that to people when she first started in her kitchen?
Probably not.
Why?
Because people they don't know. First of all, they didn't know anything about vegan lipstick. I'm pretty sure. And I don't know. I don't wear lipstick, so I can't answer this
No, I'm just saying, as a product, how come she couldn't take it from her kitchen before it went to France and put it into Walmart?
That's a good question.
Her product is sold all over the world. Not everybody wants it. Once they saw it on Shark Tank, a lot of people, it blew up from there, right?
Yep.
People wanted to find out what it was all about. People were curious, and then all of a sudden, before Governor Whitmer had it on,
Janae say, "Lord have mercy."
She had it everywhere. It's been in New York. It's been in Atlanta. It's been everywhere.
Time out. This is Raul D'Souza. This is the last song for this hour. We're going to pause, and we are going to play commercials. And everybody who's listening in Detroit, you're going to listen to those darn commercials, and you're going to support these businesses, because the other half of this whole conversation is, why are we not support? Gary says, I think black children need to stop looking for a pass down when they need to look for guidance and discipline with faith in God. Yes, that still works. The Michigan governor just gave Arabic women $20 million with no organization, no 5-year plan, but they always ask us to have such plan with our proposal.
And that's the reason.
Must just endure, push through, believe, and go back to faith that God has given us, that will release the favor for what he has for us. I'm a living new witness. My father was not in the media business. He was not a political business, but he taught me the ethics of life and to believe and build a strong future. I know you won't like it, but if you all spent as much time on the turn up and watching these mothers want to do a come up with learn a faith up, I will change your community. It will change your community.
Now, and then
Janae says she's tired of this topic, and as am I. Let's move on.
No. We can't be tired of this. This is that bull crap I be talking about. We are
spinning our wheels on this one topic.
You know why we spinning our wheels? Because people don't want to understand it. People want to follow the status quo. Build your business.
It comes a point in a conversation. It comes a point you have to agree to disagree. We can spin our wheels for 6 years on this same damn topic, and nobody opening no business. Okay, so understand that. All right,
I understand that. But the black people have to understand this. We cannot move forward unless we have these conversations.
Uncomfortable.
We have these uncomfortable conversations. And what Gary said, that black children are looking for a pass down. They should be. They should be looking for a pass down. All these white kids get passed down businesses.
I don't care about what those other kids get.
We're not setting up legacy for these kids to live off of or to live by. We're not setting up legacies. And that's the problem.
The problem is, I'm gonna coin this right after this. I got 35 seconds, 34. Yeah. So tell you what, let's come back on the other side of our commercials, and my commercials are gonna be heard. Okay, let's come back on 35, and we will close this out. We will move on to our next subject. Like it or not,
can't worry about my delivery. Can't worry about my delivery. You got to worry about the message in the delivery.
I disagree. No,
because
you got to say stuff a little bit. You got to
you got to worry about the message.
We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Delivery is not all about that.
All right, stay with us.
The station everyone's radio stays on. WJZD Radio Detroit.
Get ready for the official kickoff of Alexander Zonjic's Jokes and Jazz Series, Thursday, November 14th at One Mic, 1331 Broadway in downtown Detroit, with Alexander Zonjic featuring James Lloyd of Pieces of a Dream and comedian Johnny D. Doors open at 7 p.m., showtime at 8 p.m. It's the official kickoff of Alexander Zonjic's Jokes and Jazz Series. Get your tickets now at onemicdetroit.com/events. It's going to be a hilarious night with a jazzy edge. Don't you dare miss it. The weather is cooling down, but we want to keep it hot. Welcome to Hot Jazzy Thursday nights at the Common Pub, starting Thursday, November 14th at 7 p.m. The Common Pub, located at 5440 Cass Avenue, right across the street from Wayne State University. There's no cover with food and drink specials. Hot Jazzy Thursday nights at the Common Pub, starting November 14th, featuring the smooth sounds of Detroit jazz guitarist Eric Watson. Hot Jazzy Thursday nights. It's the perfect way to wind down from a busy day. Join us at the Common Pub, 5440 Cass Avenue. You'll be glad you did.
The Firm Lawn Care and Snow Removal Service takes care of the outside of your home so you can rest easy on the inside of your home. 313-799-3476. At any season, the firm is on your side with expert lawn care, bush and tree service, debris and snow removal, with handyman services available upon request. The Firm Lawn Care and Snow Removal Service. Call 313-799-FIRM. That's 313-799-3476. Let the firm take care of the outside of your home so you can rest easy on the inside of your home.
You've heard Now Listen. WJZD Radio, Detroit.com.
And we are back. This is the Rise and Grind. This is Don Juan in the morning. We are having a heated discussion this morning on what it takes to build a business in our community. And it is my wish that in this hour, since we're going to remain on the subject matter, but we're going to advance it to, we already disagree on what it takes to start it. I want to know why we cannot support black businesses in whatever community you live in. I mean, I've been to Arizona, I've been out west, and since the communities, maybe it's the communities are smaller and compact where the black people live, and they support each other out there. You know, in Chicago, I've seen them support. In Detroit, there are some who are showing support. These others, maybe it's something, there's a disconnect between the support that they need and I don't know whether it's a product, a service, or whatever. They need your support. Now, I'm going to ask a question. Don't you say anything, Juan. Who can tell me the last 3 commercials that I just played? Okay, tell me about them. They're all 3
Local.
three events, well, 2 events and 1 service. And can you tell me which ones I played? Jay, don't say a word. You know, I want to see who actually paid attention to it. You know, Gary says, I guess delivery don't mean a damn thing if we look at who just won the presidency. Only when the black man is speaking is there a delivery problem. But you as a woman can go out to the store. You can come out of your house at night because you have not delivered the right message, but the wrong message to these young kids with no disciplinary respect. I'm gonna chill on that comment.
So,
Waldo, what's going on?
you say he teaching.
We'll be with you. We'll be here. Lucretia says, John Check and the lawn service. Wait a minute, John Check and the lawn service with no. Okay, Lucretia, you have to be a little bit more specific. Janae says, so, Don, one of your viewers feels it necessary to attack for no reason. I'll catch you on the next show, maybe. Come on, Janae, don't be like that. One of my viewers
She's talking about
feels
Gary.
it's necessary to
She's
attack
talking
for
about
no
Gary.
reason. I'm not sure if you're
She's talking about Gary.
You know, bring bad vibes to each other. I'm trying to be the bridge here. You know, I never thought that we would go into being find it necessary to be a bridge. We all
let me
need
say
to learn
this.
to agree. Oh, this is a ERA voice text. Okay, I got it.
Let me say this.
We all need to be able to agree to disagree in certain situations. Have you
Right.
guys ever heard of this? Okay, you don't agree with somebody's opinion. That don't mean you disrespect or discount their opinion. Don't come out on this radio station and say, no, you're absolutely wrong and blah, 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 blah. I will cut your ass off. Okay, that goes for anybody, any listener, any viewer who feels you got to come out and air your grievances. You can't do it in an attackful manner. I will shut you down. I will turn this sumbitch off. Okay, understand that. All right. Thank
White
you,
got him on.
Alvin. Alvin got it right. It was Jokes and Jazz, Common Pub, and J Firm.
J Firm.
Now, we need your support. They need your support, Now, before Selena says you both have valid points. Thank you, Selena. The
Thank
Bridge
you,
Over
Selena.
Troubled Water. Coming up this hour musically, you just heard Quincy Jones, Body Heat. This is Ramsey Lewis, Tequila, Mockingbird. Love Times Love is on the way. Baby Be Mine, the cover song. Michael Brock, Kim, Trono Hudgens, The Dramatics. Oh, I got to play that song. Yeah, I'm going to play some classic Dramatics this hour. Hiroshima, Sergio Mendez, Boney James with Rick Braun. And then we going to close it out. Janae says, I'm talking about Gary. Juan doesn't need defending. He's very capable of doing that for himself. I was talking to him. However, Gary felt it necessary to come for me. Janae, I'll take care of that. And cuz we are not going to attack people on my show, ever. Okay, as long as I'm breathing God's air, I won't permit it. Okay?
So let me say this.
This is a broad message going to everyone around the world. Please do not come on this station and belittle anybody who has an opinion. If you do, I will shut your ass down. We do have another partner in crime, and here he is. What's up, Waldo?
What up, man? Hey.
You look like you got on a hoodie. Are you cold, baby?
Man, yes, it's kind of breezy out there, man.
I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Kind of breezy.
I can hear him.
Okay, you gotta work on that volume.
I can hear Waldo. I can hear Waldo.
We have to show more tact. See, Gary, he off the cuff. He is unfiltered sometimes. I grew up with this man, and from little boys, we were cousins, so he is sometimes unfiltered, been that way all his life, and it's just we have to use some sort of decorum while we're on the air. If you can't say something without being insulting, without shortchanging someone else, then keep it to yourself, okay?
Be nice to everybody, man.
Okay.
Just be nice across the board.
Says, and you
we got too much of that
necessary.
fighting going on. We already got
Waldo,
enough
say
people,
something. We can't hear you.
I can hear Waldo. I can hear Waldo.
Can y'all hear me out there?
I can.
You're up over here.
I don't know why.
Juan, because is there any way you can do?
What?
I can't hear you either.
You can't hear me? Did you cut
Wait a
me
minute,
off?
Juan. You may have to go on any desk.
Oh Lord, here I go.
I can't hear you. Wait a minute. Okay. Okay, I got you now. I got you now.
Okay, there you go.
I got you.
Okay.
Hey, what I was saying is everybody be nice to everybody. We already got stuff that's getting ready to happen in this country.
Thank you.
And stuff is getting ready to be on the rise. And folks just need to go ahead and start loving on each other, because if we don't, it's going to be all messed up, man. I'm telling you. Man, better get it.
And what I was saying before we left for the commercial break, Black people don't leave legacies.
No.
And that's a shame.
Yeah.
Because that's what the Bible tells us to do, to leave a legacy for our children. So we can't say that I'm not worried about what the white people are doing with their children. It's because they leaving legacies for their children.
Yeah, well, since you want to quote the Bible also says we must serve. We are here to serve each other.
Yeah, but how do you serve?
In any way you can. You serve you serve with kindness, you serve with love, you serve with understanding, you serve with knowledge, you serve with wisdom. Okay?
That's all good and fine. That's all good and fine.
No. Those are all facts. Don't just brush that to the side.
No.
These are facts.
Wait a minute. That's all good and fine. But there are people that still buy Birkin bags. There are people that still buy Louis Vuitton shoes. There's people that still buy Timberlands. There's people that still buy.
And your point is?
Those people don't like us, but you still buy their bags, and you still sitting there talking about love, compassion, and everything else.
Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you.
Wait.
No. Since you ran all that Birkin, Gucci, and all that Versace and all that, if that's what it takes to make them feel happy, you don't know what's going on in somebody else's life. If that's what it takes to make them happy, let them buy it.
We support them regardless of what they say or what they do about to us.
That's why we have freedom of choice. If you want to buy a Gucci bag or if you want to go buy a grocery bag, that is your choice.
Again,
we all have freedom to choose.
You have to let me make my point. My point is, regardless of what they say and what they do to us or what they say and do about us, we still support them because that's our choice to do.
Okay, and so why don't we turn this around? Where's a place where you can go buy a good purse, bag or something like made by a black person in this community.
I can give you 5.
Well, then you should. Why aren't they advertising on our stations? Why
ain't they advertising on our stations?
Yeah,
because some of them don't know about us.
Okay.
Have we went to them and said,
spit them out there, baby? I'll call them today.
I will give it to you. Let me write them down before I say who they are, because I want to make sure that, before I give numbers and stuff like that out and addresses, that they're set to take in products. To take in orders. I just want to make sure that I'll put something on them that they can
text them to me.
But I'll text them to you.
I'll call them today. I will email them today. That's what I got to do anyway all day.
Because I know a lady that makes purses out of magazines.
Let Waldo speak. What's up, Waldo?
What I'm going to do in a second, let me go in and take care of these folks, but hopefully y'all still back on. If not, damn, I love you guys. Hey, man, guess what I wore today? My WJZD jacket. I gotta go ahead and keep representing you guys. What's up?
You just amazing, Waldo. Every time I run into a police officer, they always know him. Everywhere I go in this city, you know Mark Wallace, don't you?
Hey man, just you know what? When you give respect, you get great respect back, and people value that, and that's what we got to be to each other. Like I was in the store the other day. I started, everybody that I, walked past, I spoke, how you doing? And they was like, hey, young man, how are you? Even the lady at the counter, when I spoke to her before she even started ringing up anything, I spoke to her, asked her how her day was, number one. Mm-hmm. She said, I'm good. She said, oh, by the way, you get an extra 15% off? Here, let me put this code in for you.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute.
Just by speaking.
Funny thing, I was in Ferndale one day. I was coming home from work, and I wanted some Wendy's. I wanted a burger. I swing around to the one, and there's one down the street, but the service is a little bad. So I went to Wendy's on Woodward in Ferndale, and I had my uniform on. And the gentleman said, good afternoon, officer. I was like, well, how are you? He was like, oh, you're the one that ordered the burger and blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah. And I'm giving him my card. He was like, no, this one's on me. Thank you for serving. And I was like, I was flattered. I was honored. I was privileged. And I felt out, it's something I didn't ask for. It's a wonderful feeling when you're recognized for doing what you do. And Waldo has been exemplary in showing kindness to others, serving this community and this city, and he does it with a style that's all his own, is unique to him. And he transfers that from when he clocks out. When he goes and does a gig, he does the same thing. And it's amazing that I don't know where you learned it, but and I don't know if you can teach that to your students, but teach that part of the job as well.
Yeah, I try to give them a piece of me anytime that I'm teaching any type of classes or anything, or I'm doing anything when it comes to what I do. I try to leave a piece of me with them, so then that way they can carry that on to everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Gary's saying, everyone that's listening today, if you have a business, send him an electronic ad. He will put them in the paper next issue for absolutely free. He must have the ad today. I'm going to put this on the screen. Let me pop this on the screen. All right. And that is it's Detroit Times Media at gmail.com. Send him your ad. He's going to put it in his next edition, The Shot News, for absolutely free. Okay, and all right, that was a very good gesture. We're covering Waldo's face up with the big
But I gotta go. I'll try to get back with you guys. Hopefully, you guys are still on. It'll take me about another 30 minutes, and I should be back up in a minute.
We should be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, man. Holla back.
Holla back.
Later. Yeah. And now this ad is covering our face. Detroit Times Media at gmail.com. You want to get your business seen or heard? Contact me and Juan. They will hear about you. Contact Gary Hunter, my cousin, the editor, photographer, the editor-in-chief of the Shot News. Will put your business in his paper free. So there's the email, Detroit Times Media at gmail.com. And I think that's really a kind gesture. I appreciate that. Alvin says legacy does not have to equate to generation wealth. Henrietta Lacks.
And Henrietta Lacks, but her later on down the line, her legacy did produce generational wealth.
Really?
Yeah,
Later on.
It did produce. Now, her direct descendants didn't benefit from it, but down the line they did. Down the line, the family did.
Well, if that's the
But
case,
the
so
same
did
thing-
Uncle Nearest. And G.
Yeah.
Hen can
Yes.
because
Yes,
G. Hen
that was-
turned me on to Uncle Nearest.
That was my next go-to. That was my
You know,
next go-to.
For those of you who aren't familiar with what Uncle Nearest is, it is a bourbon whiskey, and
He
Uncle
taught.
Nearest taught Jack Daniels, actually gave him the recipe, for the drink that is now called Jack Daniels, the clear bottle with the black label on it. That's actually an Uncle Nearest
A black
creation.
man.
A black man. Being a black man, back in those days, he could not sell it and make money on it. So he gave it to Jack Daniels, which sold it, made
hired
a
him.
bazillion dollars. But he didn't give him all the recipes. He gave his kids, and it passed down through generation to generation to generation. And they finally came out with Uncle Nearest bourbon. Now, G. Hen brought I think his wife gave him a bottle of it for his birthday. He brought it over to my spot, and he poured me a shot. Real true story. That shot, I mean, it was like the flavor was magnificent, but it was so strong. That shot lasted like 2 days at my crib before I could finish it. I dared not take it to the head. You know, G. Hen, if you're still listening, please tell me. Karen McFerrin, hey, and Corey Brown watching us. Thank you so much. But let's discuss that. Let's talk about generational wealth. Don't come at me talking about what we are not doing. Tell me how to be, how we can plan for our future. I started off this last hour talking about investments. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to find us somebody, maybe at Edward Jones, that will be willing to come on the show, and they will teach us, how to invest, investment for beginners, so to speak, so that we can all retire, with something. We won't outlive our money. We can take those trips to Paris. I'm so tired of seeing other folks go to Paris and coming back and having magnificent times, when all I can muster is a couple of days off. A lot of people have wonderful weekends. I got 2 days off, so, I mean, we need this. We need financial literacy. We need investment strategy. We need to learn.
I think.
Wait a minute, G. Hen just quoted Uncle Nearest.
I think our best possible way that we can invest in ourselves is to invest in our future. Now, if you don't have any kids, that doesn't mean you don't have to invest. That means you just leave it to your nephews or your nieces or somebody.
Leave it to your family. If you don't have no family, find a charity, a good strong charity, or adopt a family.
Adopt a family and leave it to them. My thing is this. Black people have been so bent on sending people out there in the work world to work for somebody and not produce entrepreneurs. Because when the world shut down, the people still needed their grass cut. People still needed houses cleaned. Some of the seniors still needed a house cleaned. People needed, cars washed because some of the people were still going to work.
Yeah, I was one of them.
And I was one of them too. And there were still things, people still wanted to watch TV and be entertained. People still wanted to listen to the radio and be entertained. And feel better about what was going on when the world shut down.
I'm sorry. Selena just said, don't feel bad, Don. They don't like Americans in Paris.
They don't. Even a black Parisian don't like Americans. But anyway, we have to learn to start now nurturing entrepreneurship. And let's talk about the businesses that are already in our areas. The Asians with the hair and
The ones we
and the
support instead of
restaurants
supporting ourselves.
and then these other people, the Arabs with the gas stations and the chicken places and Asian and everything. We need to make them be accountable for the areas that they're in. If you're in my neighborhood and you have black people frequenting you, your restaurant needs to be clean. It needs to be this way. It needs to be that way. And we want to make sure that when we eat food, we're not going home and getting food poisoning. You keeping a clean kitchen. That's just for restaurants. Gas stations, they need to hire people from the neighborhood. I understand you it's a family business and you want to hire your family. Let the family be the people that train the people in the hood. Let a few people in the hood work at your gas station. You know what I'm saying? Daycares in the different places that are in the neighborhoods.
Okay.
They should hire people in the neighborhoods.
In Highland Park, there is a co-op supermarket, and it is owned by people in the community. And I frequent that supermarket. It's very well kept. It's
I know which
very
one you're talking
clean.
about.
It's right on Woodward.
Yep.
And you can actually invest in the supermarket. You can actually, own a piece of it. I've never been in there when it was crowded, but I'm sure it does. Gary says, we need to go back to teaching natural skills, cutting grass, shoveling snow. It makes for a better business and a better community. Sometimes it's a son, sometimes it's a daughter, sometimes it's a nephew, sometimes a godson. Family business, if you want to hire family, that's okay, but make sure you're building with and for somebody else other than you.
Yep.
Very true.
Yep.
Once again, it
I
takes me
believe
back to
I
we
believe
are
in that,
served.
Gary. I believe in that.
Once again, we are here to serve, and
But
it's vital
let
that
me
we
say
serve
this.
each other.
Gary, let me tag onto your point. I started 15 different internet radio stations. I trained the people how to run their radio station, and then I gave it to them.
I had to pay for mine. How come you didn't give me mine?
Because you didn't come up under me.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't come up under me.
Now, Juan Alvin agrees with you. He said the best investment we can make is in our youth. And let me piggyback on that by saying I was at the DSA, Detroit School of the Arts, yesterday. These kids are amazing. If you've never been there, they're right on Selden and Cass. And the school is an amazing facility for children and students who are involved in acting, singing, music, broadcasting, podcasting, television, everything. Every aspect of the arts is housed in one facility. Ms. Green, my hat is off to you, and I thank you so much for allowing me and Corey and Sam Donald to come. She gave us a full tour. They have an auditorium that was dedicated to Aaliyah.
Yes.
And I went in there. I stood on the stage, and it's just such an amazing facility. And, they are investing in the youth like never before. I've been in a lot of schools. Because, see, school, to me, this is just my personal thoughts, that the public school system is designed to teach students rules. These are the rules, and then when you graduate, you go to another school that you got to pay for it. It's going to take half your life to pay it off. Then when you pay it off, you get a job, and you use that money to pay off the school. And see, society they don't want you to get ahead. They want good workers. Let me explain something about that. You don't get rich working for somebody else. I don't give a damn what you do.
Sure
You are
don't.
not going to get rich working for somebody else. They can pay you $150,000 a year. You're still not going to be rich.
They're going to pay you $1 million a year. You're still not rich.
You're still not rich because you're working for them.
There's
If
always
you
going
don't
to be
go out
somebody in
and
that
pursue
company
your
richer than you.
If you don't go out and pursue your dream, somebody else will find you and make you work for them so they can pursue theirs. Okay? So that's just the facts. Gary says we just have to have the patience. Yes, they're hard-headed. Yes, they're undisciplined, but we have to find the patience indeed. See, this is a great day. It's 60 plus degrees. Do you know how much money you can make raking leaves? You know what? And I was impressed. When I was coming home yesterday, I saw kids raking leaves, and I was impressed by that.
Were they raking their leaves or somebody else's?
They were raking somebody else's. Right, it was the next door neighbor. These were young kids. It was like 5, 6 of them, and they might make $5-10 a piece. But $5-10 a piece to a 10-year-old, that's a start. Yeah. Cheryl says you're blessed by helping others, especially the youth. Be successful. I pledged to Mrs. Green that this station will do whatever we can do to help them out. Any advertising, any events they're going to have, she's going to contact me. I'm going to write and produce the spot, and we're going to blast it out there and help the school out. Do they need my help? Perhaps. They could always use any school. I will do it for them, So, I mean, because we got to start with these kids, And, it's amazing. If you sit down and try to have an intelligent conversation with children, and I say children because they're like 15, 16 years old, they are so into learning. Well, at the School of the Arts, they're so interested into learning and honing their craft. They don't know what's going on around them. They don't know about this election. They know it happened, and they know who won, but they don't understand the impact that it's going to have on them. Okay? They don't understand that. So we have to invest in these kids to protect them from harm, to engage them. Like Gary said, you have to have patience and talk to them and try to teach them. Everybody can teach somebody. We can all learn from each other. Am I right?
That's true. That's true.
We all, if we just have patience and listen. Now, this takes me back to the disagreement we had last hour. It is all in your delivery and how you convey your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions. No. If you can't talk to me intelligently, Juan, I don't want to talk to you.
Listen.
And that's not just for you. That's for anybody.
Listen.
Let me explain something to you real quick.
Go.
Now, I'll let you talk. You're gonna have to let me speak. Not just for you, but if anybody comes trying to blow my hair back, well, I ain't got none, but try to tell me it's this, and this, rather than saying, Don, let me talk to you. Now, you might understand it, you might not. And I'm going to try my best to help you to understand the message I'm trying to get to, And if you come at me that way, I'm more receptive to your opinion or the way of thinking. But if you're going to come back and not choose the right words carefully, because I speak a lot slower than you do. You know why I speak slow? Because I'm thinking about the words that I'm choosing before I say what I'm going to say. Black people as a group, we all have this problem, and I had it. We talk quickly, because we're afraid of losing that thought in our mind. Let me see what I'm going to say before I forget about it. And we've all had that moment, haven't we? So if you take your time, slow it down, you choose your words, and I learned this from a man who is a certified genius, okay? Laugh if you want to, but it works. I stop sometimes, I pause when I'm speaking, so I can choose the words correctly to help someone understand the message I'm trying to convey. Good morning, Smoke Jones.
So you're trying to say to me,
delivery is key. Thank you, Dietrich. And I don't care what you say, because if you come at me wrong, I've already tuned you out. I might sit there and look at you and be like, yeah, okay, right.
And I think that's mainly our problem, because we worry so much about how people say things to us instead of the message in what they're trying to say, that we can't listen to certain people if the delivery is not what they think it should be.
Well, if you don't speak, it's called being courteous and speaking intelligently. Okay, if you don't speak intelligently, you're not courteous to me. I don't give a damn what you're saying. You can say, Don, I got $1 million in that vault right there, and I'm gonna give you half of it. But if you come at me wrong, this is your motherfucker. I'm like, whatever you're saying, I don't even need to know. That's a $500,000 I can do without.
But you know what? Working in the industry I work in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Delivery, you couldn't be worried about the delivery.
Maybe that's why you're behind the camera instead of in front
I'm talking
of it.
about the people behind the camera and the people that's running the production. We got cussed out every single day. And this is from people that were working in major companies. I'm not talking about no small company. I'm talking about major production companies.
Now, wait a minute. Gary says something. I'm imagining he is siding with what you're saying. His comprehension is super key.
Yep.
We've got to stop being so sensitive about reality while we let chaos continue to grow.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But it's the way he just said what he said, as opposed to, you shouldn't be so sensitive and da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
No, because I'm gonna tell you, in our business, sensitivity got you kicked out of jobs. If that director couldn't talk to you a certain way and talk to you the way he talked to you, you got kicked out of jobs. You got cussed out on camera.
Eventually, that director would be out of a job.
No, there are people that have been in these jobs for 15 years, 20
I don't
years,
give a rat's ass.
cussing out people
And
on
let me
a
explain
regular.
something to you. Let me explain something to you. That director who is foul-mouthed and disrespectful, eventually, if it hasn't already happened, it will happen. I guarantee you that, because somebody with some clout is going to be like, why are you talking to people like this? And it might be the talent, and the director's in the booth over there, and he's yelling, and I can hear it in my earpiece trying to tell me what. I'm like, ho.
Don.
No. Please let me finish this thought. If he's cussing at me and yelling at me to do this, I'm like, ho. All right, I understand what you're saying, but I will not tolerate you talking to me like you are beneath me. I'm a grown-ass man, just like you are. And if you can't convey your thoughts to me, we can't communicate on a higher plane than the way you're delivering, we're going to have a problem.
And then tomorrow you'll be out of a job.
Either I'll be out of a job or I'm going to come in there and whoop your ass, because you will not talk to me that way. Okay.
Now I can understand.
Now, wait. I got a great, perfect example.
Okay.
Tupac and Michael Jackson in Vegas.
Where Michael Jackson beat up Tupac?
Yeah, because Tupac was talking to it might have been his niece. And
you know what? What I'm trying to say to you is, outside of what you do, and people walk up to you and disrespect you, that's different. But sometimes, like I've been
the way you just said, the way a director tells you to do something, that's disrespectful, Juan.
Wait a minute. If you know that's a part of the job, that's a part of the job you just got to take.
Bro, I've been in television studios. You know I have.
But you don't. No. Have you been a director?
I have not been a director, but
Have you been a producer?
I've been on the camera before.
No, have you been a producer?
Yes, I have.
Have you been on camera during
Yes, I
one of
have.
producer? Now, let me say this. I've been in television 39 years. I've been cussed out so many different times. But you know what happens at the end, in the end result? You know why those people don't get fired? Because in the end result, they get Emmys. They get Oscars. If the end result is that, they don't care how they run their production, as long as they get those Emmys and Oscars.
May I interject?
And if you can't take them disrespecting you while you on camera, they'll kick you off your camera and you'll be out of a job, and they'll put somebody else on there real quick so they can get done what they need to get done.
You know what?
That's just wait a minute, Don. Let me finish.
There's more than one network. Why don't you know this?
But let me finish. I work for all of them. I work for NBC. I work for ABC. I work for ESPN. I work for MTV. I work for what's the other one? I forgot. I work for BET too. I work for Comcast for 18 years. My thing is this. Every director doesn't cuss you out. But the ones that do, you got to take it. Now, I can see if they cuss me out after the production and we're walking around and they coming to me cussing me out, then I'm gonna say something. But during the production, I'm not even gonna let that bother me. Now, that's one, because we worry so much about delivery. If you're at a job and they're doing something wrong and they approach you a certain way, you do have a choice. You can stay or you can leave, or you can listen to what they're saying and get it right. That's just the way it is when you work for somebody else. Sometimes you have to take some stuff. But if you have your own business, you can do whatever you want.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna quote what's his name? What's the actor that did My Cousin Vinny?
Which one?
You
talking about Joe Pesci?
Yeah, I'm gonna quote Joe Pesci from the movie My Cousin Vinny. To all you guys listening, everything he is about to tell you is bullshit. Okay, and that it's not that it's not true, but it's not true in all cases. There are some very kind people that are producers and directors. They know how to communicate effectively.
I'm one of them.
I sat back right here in this chair and let you speak. Now, please allow me. And to my cousin Gary, who thinks that, if we think sensitivity, the reality of life, and the dangers of life need to be mellowed down, blah, 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 hoo, ha, ha. Maybe that's what's wrong with society today, that we don't know how to communicate effectively. But I'm going to tell you something. And so God is my witness. And that if I'm in that situation where a man that I'm working under his supervision, starts blessing me out in front of everybody else, there's one thing to take me aside and say, Don, I need you to focus. I need you to do this. Give me that delivery, da-da-da-da-da-da. That's one thing. But if you feel that you are justified by blasting me, putting me on blast in front of everybody, that just don't flow with me. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not the one that's going to sit down and take that, sitting down. Anybody with any, I work with the public. I work for the government. Even my boss, I won't mention his name, but I had some issues at my job back just years ago. When he had a problem, he called me in his office, step one. Or he pulled me to the side, step one. And he was done. What's going on? What's wrong? Why can't you do da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da? But key point is he pulled me, it was done in private. He would never, he was not that kind of guy. I respect him to the utmost. And those that work with me and know who I'm talking about, you could tell by looking at his face, he could cuss you out in the drop of a hat, but he doesn't. He uses professionalism and he uses tact. See, that's a problem a lot of us don't have. They don't know how to be tactful. I'm not saying you got to mellow down and soften and cushion every time somebody needs sometimes tough love is best, but in a professional setting, you have to be tactful and communicate effectively. That's what I'm saying. And Greg Beasley said, respect is mandatory. Smoke says, the world is not built on kindness and sensitivity. The corporate power structure is built on results, regardless of whose feelings get hurt. It doesn't make it right, but it's a reality. And
Reality.
Corey says, gotta have line. Very true. That may be the case, and perhaps that's why I walked away from a few jobs in my life, And did it make me a better man for it? I left with my self-respect and my own dignity, and I did find a better position, okay? Because when I was where was I at? I was down in Galveston, Texas, working at a radio station, and this redneck person made some racial slurs, and I stood up. I was like, hold on. Because I happened to be walking past his office while he was doing it, and I backed up, and I pushed the door open a little bit. I was like, are you referring to me? You must be, because I'm the only black in this company. Now, you're going to talk on the phone about me to someone. Try saying it now. I'm standing in front of you, okay? I'm like, listen, I don't have to work here. You know, you can take this little 2-bit place and, you know, put it where the sun don't shine. I didn't use those exact words because those were my younger days. So I was using some very choice adjectives. So,
And those choice adjectives conveyed the message that you was trying to give, right?
And no, the message that I try to give is I'm done here. I quit.
Right.
You know,
And those choice words conveyed the message that you was trying to give.
Absolutely. And no,
Okay.
the quitting part affected him more because he had to, Elva, thank you, baby. Read that. We have a good example at WJZZ. And she put some initials there. I'm so happy that
Terry Arnold.
I don't, man, dude, don't do that. But he's mellowed out, and he's a changed man now. He realizes.
I understand that. No. I understand that. But I know Terry Arnold before he was mellowed out.
Oh yeah, and so did I.
And then the thing is, he was successful at what he was doing because people knew that they couldn't walk in there and just do any old thing because Terry cussed him out. And but Terry took care of business too. And the results were.
Well, when we get off I'm gonna tell you about some of the pitfalls of doing that.
No. I know the pitfalls of it.
They're big.
Yeah, they were big. And but the thing is, he was successful at a time doing that, taking care of business, and the results mattered to the people before they were worried about his delivery, even though he probably got called to the carpet a couple of times.
I believe you're putting the cart before the horse because you don't really understand what went on over there on the boulevard like I do.
I know that. I'm just saying from my experience, I know that you know, those being that way can have repercussions that are not always good.
Now, Smoke says if you don't like how someone runs their business, then you must create your own business where you can operate it with sensitivity and kindness. That's the ideal. Then the world will become a better place to work. Perhaps, you know, there's trial and error in everything, Smoke. You know, two people that disagree can still work together, but there has to be a level playing field where they can communicate effectively. You know, am I saying there's Waldo? He's back with us. You can communicate. Communication is key. Just like in a relationship, communication is everything. You have to learn how to convey your ideals without blowing a person's hair back. You know, without degrading them. No, time out, nothing. You cannot be degrading, demeaning to anyone. You can talk
Waldo
to me.
is the perfect person for this.
What?
What?
Waldo, how many times have you got cussed out on your job and still had to take it but do your job?
Oh, several.
How did you respond?
How did you respond to it?
Because there was a supervisor, I looked at him, I said, okay, no problem. And then I explained my situation at that point in time. Like one example, I was when I was on bike patrol downtown, we had just rode from the Boulevard and Woodward to Monroe and Bobian down in Greektown.
And if you ever seen Waldo ride a bicycle.
So after we got off the bikes, we sat down on the bikes and I took my bike helmet off. I had a deputy chief at that point in time come up there and say, "Where's your hat?" I said, I just got here. I just took my helmet off. He looked at me, he said, "Well, you need to be written up. What's your supervisor name?" I told him, I said, for taking my helmet off and not putting on my ball cap right away. I said, "It's cool." I said, "Whatever you want to do, it's no problem." You know, and then he looked. And, you know, he acted real funny. Needless to say, that deputy chief wasn't around that long after that.
Now, with that being said, how many times have you taken your boss to the carpet and been like, you know what, you can't talk to me like that?
You know what? I take it with a grain of salt and walk away because I would regret saying something.
And this is what I was trying to tell Don. In our business, we get cussed out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
because the results are immediate. Because if we're live TV, them results are immediate.
Yeah.
If we're live, if we're doing something live. I
hear
know,
what you're saying.
I know, and those results are immediate, and they need to get done what they need to get done right away. But the thing is, you can't take it and take that to heart all the time.
Now,
Sometimes you got to let that go.
okay, now
because that's just how that
now,
director
if
is.
you were listening as I was and not running my mouth before I understood what was going on, Waldo said when his superior officer came to him and said, "Well, where's your helmet?" and they had an exchange, Waldo calmly responded to him, because it's not in what is said to you, it's how you react that
The
diffuses.
deliverance is everything. The
And
reaction is deliverance is everything. That goes to
Exactly.
any situation.
If
Deliverance
somebody
is
comes
everything.
yelling at you, you remain calm and you respond to them. You respond to them with affirming statements. You say, "I understand what you're saying, but here's my, the reasoning for my actions, and it changes the whole vibe of what's going on. You can diffuse the situation. Now, Waldo is also a perfect example of how to diffuse a situation before it gets volatile. Am I correct, Waldo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because
Now,
they train you in this.
let me
They
say
train
this.
you in this.
Let me say this. I was out on the street with a camera doing a shoot. Just, out there doing some shooting. This guy with a shopping cart, who I know is homeless, doesn't have a home, he came to me and he said something to me so disrespectful. And gave it to me for at least 2 minutes. And I just stood there and looked at him. I didn't say anything back to him. But in the meantime, when I got in the car, I listened to what he said. His delivery might have been terrible, but I heard what he was saying. You don't have to be special to be able to hear the message in something like that. Sometimes you just have to listen to what they're saying. Your father and your mother is not always the best in the delivery when they say they're about to whoop your butt. Their delivery is bad. They whoop you. But it depends on what they do afterwards. Did
Good morning,
you listen? Did
Delphine.
you
Good
hear?
morning, Thad. Good morning.
Did you
We
listen?
are
Did you
having a
understand?
deep conversation. We are going to end up agreeing to disagree on this. We got 14 more minutes. We have been on there for 2 hours, and discuss. What it all boils down to at the end of this entire discussion is in our communicating one with another, no matter what arena you're in. You have to, if it's a volatile situation, if you're on the receiving end of a volatile conversation, you have to be strong enough to absorb the volatility coming at you and then diffuse it. How do you do that? You stand there and you listen. You just don't change your facial expression. Don't show anger. You have to stand there and be like, okay, now, and repeat what they just said at you in a calm manner to diffuse the volatility of the situation. So they came at you spitting fire. You come back and say, okay, let me get this right. If what you're saying is, in Waldo's case, what you're saying is why I didn't put my hat on, I didn't have my helmet on and immediately put my hat on. Is that what the problem here is? And sometimes it'll be funny because they're like, damn, he just made this whole thing made me sound real stupid, and they gather that. You have to learn how to diffuse situations. The way we communicate with one with another, especially as a black people, it's got to change. We need to respond to each other with some understanding. Am I saying, life is sunshine and daisies? Hell no. We all know that's not the truth. The truth of the matter is we got to find a better way so that we can communicate with each other and help each other, uplift each other, serve each other, support each other, and learn to get beyond all that nonsense. We're wasting time, folks. We're wasting time.
Yeah, because we're worried about delivery.
You You just didn't. You didn't hear
I heard
a thing I
everything you
just said.
I heard everything you said, and I think that's good for a kindler
Well, if you look at it now, that's how society has made it. Because you look at these young folks, you say one thing wrong to them, and everybody want to throw up this card that you're bashing me and all this.
Yeah.
You do have to put it in a way, like I said, when you communicate to people, you cannot put it to where it seems offensive, because your point will not get across. Period. I don't care how you write it.
And
If
and,
you
that,
you
and
can
that's
automatically break them down in the beginning by you going at it the right way and being calm about it, and then I'm telling you, their whole mood will change.
That's what I just said.
Right.
Juan, on the other hand, is like
Juan is
you know,
Juan gonna
no, because my thing
Right.
is this. My thing is this. Sometimes they need their head bit off.
No.
No,
Who made you the judge?
I'm talking about who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to certain people, and I see that they need their head bit off, they need their head bit off. You can't go to a drug dealer on the street.
Why is everything got to be about drugs?
Hold on, Don.
You on drugs, Juan?
You can't go to a drug dealer on the street and be like, you know what? It'd be so nice if you don't sell drugs on the street right here because of the kids that coming by and everything. He already knows that. You got to go to him like, listen, nigga, let me tell you something.
First of all, we're not using that type of language. We are
I'm sorry.
worldwide.
I'm sorry. Listen here. You can't sell these drugs on the street, and you know why you can't sell these drugs over here, by here. These kids are coming by here, and we just don't want this over here. He's gonna He's gonna look at me and be like, "Oh, it's this."
You can get yourself hurt, like seriously.
Bro,
you have to stay in your lane and let Waldo do his job.
Look, let me
That's
tell
when
you
you can make
something.
that phone
I
call.
come from 6 Mile and Gratiot. I
don't give a damn where you
Hold
came
on,
from.
Don. Let me finish, Don. I come from 6 Mile and Gratiot. I have approached drug dealers and people on my street and let them know you cannot sell here. And if you're going to sell here, we're going to keep being in front of your house, making it hard for you. What did they do? They made it hard for us at first. They came out their house with their guns and everything. But what happened was they saw that we was about business, and they was like, what can we do to help, so we don't get in trouble, with you and all that other stuff. It's because I came to and I was hard with them. And they disrespected it at first, but guess what they did? Because I was there and I kept going. And shoot, I sat on the porch with them one time. I was like, don't sell to them. They look like narcs. They looking at me like, what? The thing is, we can't be so hell-bent on delivery all the time, because sometimes the best message is going to come to us in the harshest way. And this is what I'm telling you about leaving legacies. We don't leave legacies. White people leave legacies. We don't teach our kids entrepreneurship. White people teach their kids entrepreneurship, tell them to go get a job, and then leave them the business so they can leave their job and work in their business. That's all I'm saying. We worried about how I'm saying it, but the thing is, it's a reality. It's a truth. It's a reality. Regardless of how the delivery is, the truth is the truth. The truth will always win out. That's it.
Okay, are we done here? I mean,
I
apparently we think that everything is based on dealing drugs, and that's not the only
That's all
situation.
you got out of that, Don.
That was the question I asked you initially, because you've been referring back to the drugs that are dealing on the street. I'm talking about communication as a whole. I'm talking about communication at work. I'm talking about communication in a household. I'm talking about communication in schools. I'm talking about communication across the board. And somehow we keep coming back to dope men on the corner, But if that's the case, then so be it.
When you cuss out your wife or
I
your
don't have a
girlfriend, wait. When you cuss out your wife or your girlfriend, do you go back and say, I apologize, this is what I'm trying to say?
I don't have that type of argument anymore. I don't.
I'm just saying.
We don't.
go.
We talk. You that's
You talk
because
it out.
I've learned to communicate effectively. So
But
Dawn and I don't argue.
But you
We don't do that.
communicated. You communicated harshly, maybe a little bit, and that she felt that it was harsh. That you had to go back and say, this is what I was trying to say, and you had to do it calmly, right? But
Nope.
in that moment in time, like, okay, let me say this. One time, we was getting ready to get robbed, and we was out on the street, me and my wife, and I had to tell her to take the baby to the car, and she's like, what's going on? I said, take the baby to the car. She's still trying to debate me. What's going on? Take the damn baby to the car. Y'all go to the car and sit in the car until I get there. Sometimes, just like that, you have to say things, and it might be harsh. But the thing was, when she heard me say that, she knew, okay, well, something's going on. He don't want me to be a part of. Let me take the baby and go.
I thank Alvin for what he just said. The goal of communication to be effective and convey/receive messages. One way and only way of communicating will not work with everyone.
With everyone. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Sometimes
that being
you
said,
gotta-
we have 2 minutes before the show is over, and then I got to get on the computer and shoot a bunch of emails out and pay bills. Okay, and and if it makes you feel good, Juan, I'm gonna really get harsh and speak and type really, really loudly.
You know what?
In all caps.
All caps.
Listen, Waldo, say goodbye.
All right, hey, you know what? Goodbye to you guys. You guys be careful. Have a wonderful glorious weekend. Don't forget, be careful out when you're out driving. You know, Black Friday is coming up in a couple weeks. Instead of you spending all that money at these other big mainstream stores, look at your local black businesses and spend some money there in your own neighborhood. So then that way you can do something great for the people that live in your neighborhood. Also, Don, I will be getting that Quincy Jones set to you soon. And you can also check me out on YouTube. You can go to the Cold and Waldo Show, or you can come to Club Living Room or the Lounge on Facebook. So I'll see you. Be cool.
Juan, your turn.
Look, regardless of how y'all think my delivery was.
Dude, you got 64 seconds. Make it quick.
You interrupted me. Let me do this. Regardless of how you think my delivery was today, my thing is to make your life better is to live, laugh, and love. That's all you got to do. Live, laugh, and love, and your day will be the best day of the rest of your life. Don.
Listen to our commercials if you want to find out what's going on. You need a service, you have a business, contact me, contact Juan. We'll get your station or your business known and heard. Have a great weekend. Be positive. Stay calm. Diffuse situations regardless of whatever you heard. Make it a great day on purpose. Do it with authority. And remember to make each and every day count. We are WJZD Radio Detroit.com. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been a fun 2 hours.